ओम ओम सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ओम सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रय विनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः। ओम जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्च अर्थेष्वभिघ्नस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयति अखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं समस्तदेवताभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराण आचार्येभ्यो नमः। परब्रह्मणे महाविष्णवे ब्रह्मणे सनकादिमुनिभ्यो नारदाय वेदव्यासाय शुकब्रह्मर्षे सूतमहामुने नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओं श्री कृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणम् एकादश स्कन्धः मुक्तिरित्वान्यथा रूपं स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थितिः अथ एकोनविंशः अध्यायः। श्री भगवानुवाच श्री उद्धव उवाच चाण्ट् फ्रॉम् उद्धव उवाच उद्धव उवाच यमः कतिविधः प्रोक्तः नियमो वा हरिकर्शन कः शमः को दमः कृष्ण का तितिक्षा धृतिः प्रभो किं दानं किं तवः शौर्यं किं सत्यं ऋतमुच्यते कस्त्यागः किं धनं च इष्टं को यज्ञः का च दक्षिणा पुंसः किं सिद्बलं श्रीमन् भगो लाभश्च केशवा का विद्या हरिः परा का श्रीः किं सुखं दुःखमेव च कः पंडितः कश्च मूर्खः कः पन्था उत्पतश्च कः स्वर्गो नरको कः स्विद् को बन्धुरुत किं गृहं कः आढ्यः को दरिद्रो वा कृपणः कः क ईश्वरः एतान् प्रश्नान् मम ब्रूहि विपरीतांश्च सत्पते। श्रीभगवानुवाच अहिंसा सत्यमस्तेयम् असङ्गो ह्रीरसंशयः आस्तिक्यं ब्रह्मचर्यं च मौनं स्थैर्यं क्षमा भयं शौचं जपस्तपो होमः श्रद्धातिथ्यं मदर्चनं तीर्थाटनं परार्थेः तुष्टिराचार्यसेवनम् एते यमाः नियमाः उभयोर्द्वादश स्मृताः पुंसामुपाश्रितास्ताथ यथा कामं दुहन्ति क्षमो मन्निष्ठिता बुद्धेर्दम इन्द्रियसंयमः तितिक्षा दुःखसम्मर्शः जिहोवस्थजयोद्धृतिः दण्डन्यासः परं दानं कामत्यागस्तपः स्मृतं स्वभावविजयः शौर्यं सत्यं च समदर्शनं ऋतं च सुनृतावाणी कविभिः परिकीर्तिता कर्मसु असङ्गमः शौचं त्यागः सन्न्यास उच्यते धर्म इष्टं धननॄणां यज्ञाहं भगवत्तमः दक्षिणाज्ञानसन्देशः प्राणायाम परं बलं भगोम ऐश्वरो भावः लाभो मद्भक्तिरुत्तमः विद्यात्मनिभिरावादा जुगुप्सा ह्रीरकर्मसो श्रीर्गुणानैरपेक्ष्याद्याः सुखं दुःखसुखात्यः दुःखं कामसुखापेक्षा पंडितो बन्धमोक्षविदो मूर्खो देहाद्यहं बुद्धिः पन्थामन्निगमस्पदः उत्पथः चित्तविक्षेपः सर्गः सत्त्वगुणोदयः नरकस्तम उन्नाहः बन्धुर्गुरुरहं सखे पुरं शरीरं मानुष्यं गुणाढ्यो हि आढ्य उच्यते दरिद्रो यस्तसन्तुष्टः कृपणो यो अजितेन्द्रियः गुणेषु असक्तधीरेशः गुणसङ्गो विपर्ययः एत उद्धवते प्रश्नाः सर्वे साधु निरूपिताः किं वर्णितेन बहुना लक्षणं गुणदोषयोः गुणदोषदृशिर्दोषः गुणस्तुभयवर्जितः इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायाम् एकादश स्कन्धे एकोनविंशोऽध्यायः। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। ओम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम श्री भागवत शरणं मम श्री सद्गुरु शरणं मम श्री सूत शरणं मम श्री व्यासुकदेव शरणं मम श्री व्यास शरणं मम श्री नारद शरणं मम Shri Kumara Sharanam Mama, Shri Brahma Sharanam Mama, Shri Vishnu Sharanam Mama, Shri Sadguru Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Sharanam Mama, Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare Nath Narayana Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. Om Mukhaṁ Karoti Vācālam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yatkrupātamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam Sarge Satye Kailase Vaikunఠे Nastyam Prasah Atha Pivanda Sadbhagya Hamamam Chakarhijita. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Yonta Pravisham Hamavasam Imam Prasuttam Sanjivayate Akhila Shakti Dharastam Nanyan Shasta Charanashravanatadin Pranam Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam. Om Sri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuranam Ekadasha Skandha Muktiritva Nidharupam Saruvena Vyavasthityata Ekonavimshodhyayah Uddhavacha. Hari Om. Through all our equipments also, we can have dukkha rahita sukha. There are some techniques to do. Although all those sukhas are not permanent, and at every level some price we have to pay. And beyond all these instruments level also, there is a sukha which is eternal, but to gain that we have to transcend these instruments. So that which gives us sukha with these instruments in this world is dharma, is punya. That which gives us sukha hereafter is bhakti, etc. And that which gives us the ultimate sukha, for which you have to pay the price of transcending all of this, is called as jnana. So keeping us in mind that we are at peace and ease only when we are sukhi, that all our shastras, or through all the shastras, our gurus have chalked out the techniques to be happy. And that becomes the entire essence of Adhyatmika Jivana. Other than that, there is no loss in doing Adhyatmik Jivana or sadhana. And then, mind you, in this Adhyatmik sadhana also, so many steps are able to be climbed, and all of them are not climbed in one lifetime by any jiva. So, in our lifetime, if we find some people are very highly evolved spiritually in terms of the knowledge of the jnana of the shastras, in terms of their practices, in terms of their experiences. So they have started some hundreds of lives back. Therefore, in this life, they are at that level. 100 lives back, they were also like us. So we are in this life are like this. And there are people who are much lower than us at this level, which we started 100 lives back. And after 100 lives, we will be at that level. And to be at that level, we have to consciously know what to do and do what we know. That is called as being a sadhaka. And we compare with others. No, we look at others who are doing sadhana only to understand that that is the stage we have to reach to, and take that person's presence as an inspiration for us. And how much ever we struggle, we can't reach to that person's level in one life. And we need not. We need not worry that way. Keep on being on the path, keep on doing what is in your hands. You will reach to that stage. In fact, there are no people other than us in this world with whom we have to compare. What we have to see is the stages of evolution. So the stage of evolution is like that. Example is that person. Like that. Example is that person. So all those like that are my goals. Let me put my effort in that direction. And more so, unless in this way, for the entire life as well as for every day, unless there is such very beautifully chalked out goal is there, and we are working for it. If the goal is not there every day, and if we don't have the goal for the entire life, and if we are not working towards it, that there are the times where we do the wrong things. There are the times we find the life is empty. Those are the timings because of which we feel either frustrated, depressed, or distracted, or we become suicidal. We feel the life is boring. Many of the old people, about 60 once they cross. So after 60, 62 become old, some kidney, liver, घुटनों का problem, कुछ तो होता है. Then the only two thoughts are what? They want to die because of the pain and they don't want to die. And they don't want to die, but what to do, they don't know. And suddenly one day they feel like, जी के क्या करे जब दिल टूट गया, and they become so funny, cynical. Every day you can see the people around us. And they were in their time of job and career, they were really flourishing. They were doing very good job. They were very contributors to the departments, to the government, were earning good money and traveling everywhere, enjoying all that. पर ये उम्र आते ही क्या करूं नहीं पता, इसलिए वो गलत रास्ते में जाते हैं. That is why we have taken this job of every day having goal. What is our goal? Study 4 hours our Shastras. And for the entire life we have a goal, that what is mentioned in the Shastra as goal, and means not only what we convinced about it, that we'll substantially do the sadhana indicated and understood and accepted, and we'll definitely strive to have at least a glimpse of that experience. All these are done when you study Shastra under the able guidance of the experienced Guru. Without Guru, you can't study Shastra, and the Guru should speak from the Shastra so that it becomes authentic. So, what we are doing every day through our study, and what Lord Krishna did to Uddhava, and what all Gurus have done to their disciples, and what is mentioned in the Shastras, and why we have to be spiritual seeker, and why we should seek the truth, and why we have to study Shastra, and why we have to have the Guru, and why we have to be on the path and listen to satsang. For all these expected questions, these are the answers which we spoke last couple of minutes. Yeah. Now, here also in the 19th chapter, the Jnana essence is explained to us. Then Bhakti Sadhana essence also explained to us. And in the Bhakti Sadhana conclusion, these four things, the Dharmam, Jnanam, Vairagya, Aishwaryam, these three things are the result of a person who is a Bhakta. And Bhakta is he who has done all the sadhanas as mentioned above in the 4-5 slokas. It's a complete thesis and subject. Now, as we said just 1 minute back, these sadhanas are my goals. There are some things to be done at the body level, at the mind level, at the senses level, at the intellectual level. Intellectual level, we have to change the concepts. Emotional level, we have to change the emotions and understandings. Okay? And then the senses level, you have to divert our pursuit from this to that. At the body level, from the laziness to activeness, we have to become. So, this is how each of them becomes sadhana when we understand and do them. Now, after this Bhakti and Jnana are spoken, Uddhavji is asking questions. And these questions are straight away asked, straight away answered by the Lord, keeping in mind and imagining that all students of Bhagavata who come to this level are definitely familiar with all these words, and they also know some tentative meaning, but pakka convincing perfect meaning will be given by Lord Krishna now for all these terms or the words. For example, Yamaha. And every one of us have heard Yamaha, which is there in the Patanjali Yoga Sutra. And here and there we might have a little bit gathered also information. And this Yama is a state of mind we have to lift our mind to. Clear? And in that there are some practices, in that some values. That will be given there. We have to aim at it as the goal. So how you have to proceed? I have to do the Yama sadhana. And in Yama, these are the 12 points. So each one has this type of changing of thought, changing of emotion, changing of orientation life, changing of the activity, changing of attitude. So this is what I do. And when we do, what's happening? As I said in the beginning, in the introduction, through the upadhi also, we eliminate the dukkha, we start getting sukha. And we eliminate dukkha karana of doing wrong. And I substitute with the sukha karana of doing the right thing. When we live like this for a certain period of time, then we equip ourselves, become qualified for the higher permanent sukha, and that is only through Ananya Bhakti Saranagati or Tattva Chintana and Tattva Anubhuti. So, what are the questions asked by Uddhavaji? Uddhava he says, where is that? Yamaha Katividha Proktaha. So, what are these sadhanas come under the subheading of Yama? So, Jnana was told, Bhakti was told, now Ashtanga Yoga Sambandhi Prashna is asking. Then the rest of the things will be about the Karma Yoga ke baate aap samajh sakte ho. So, Yamaha Katividha Proktaha. Which are the sadhanas? When practice, the yamanam of our mind faculties happen. So to niyamaha, 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 niyamaha va arikarshana. Arikarshana, the one who is a subjugator, destroyer of all the outer and inner enemies. Such a Lord Krishna, I am asking you, Katividaha Yamaha Proktaha and also Niyamaha. Niyama means after controlling the faculties, then in a disciplined manner, putting our life into with a substantial goal. That's what Niyama. Niyama Yukta Jivan. Niyama Nishta hona chahiye ki nahi? So you have to have the Niyama, first you have to have the Yama. Like you control the car first, that's called Yamaha, while learning the driving. Then you take sit on the car, in the car, behind the steering or front of steering, and then steer out through the goal where you want to reach. That is Niyama. Unless you learn the Yama of all parts or all the car, Niyamanam, using it for the where you want to go, you can't do it. And there's so many people, nobody is born like the driver. All of them first Yama, go to the teacher, every aspect of the car they learn, and then they do practice, then they have in the Niyama. They have done the Niyamanam of the car. Thus, it takes them where they want. In the same way, faculties, listen carefully, and the entire life of ours should not be let loose. That has to be, first of all, Yamita. You have to control it, you have to regularize it, you have to bring it into our fold. Then Niyamaha, then where to use every of the faculties as well as entire life's goal. That disciplined life is called life of maturity. To do that, what is required is intellect, and that is given to only human beings. So we are the only ones who can, after knowing what is Yama Niyama, can practice and thus help ourselves. So Yamaha Katita Proktaha Niyamava Arikarshana. Hari means Shatru. Karshana means Nash Karne Wala. Shatru Karshana, Hari Karshana is the name addressed to Krishna. Why? Uddhava, because throughout life, so many Shatrus were killed. He had Shatrus right from the birth onwards, Lord Krishna. So, before his birth only, the Shatru was there in the form of his own mama, Kamsuji, ready with Khadga Talwar, near the gate of the Sutika Gruha. And for him, all the Shatrus of his Bhaktas are his own Shatrus. Therefore, he will eliminate them also. So, he has done Karshanam of all Shatrus right from his 6th day of the birth, starting with the killing of this Putana. And inside also, when we are totally submitting to the Lord and doing what he says exactly, our inner Shatru also gets Karshita. And two only are the Shatrus, the Tamoguna and its gunas, Rajoguna and its expressions. इन दोनों को कृष्ण भगवान कर्षण कर देते हैं if you give him chance. Chance giving to him is through total devotion surrender or to follow what he taught to us in Gita or Bhagavatam and other textbooks. So, Arikarshana, Yamaha Katividaha, Niyamaha Katividaha. Two questions are over. Third one, Shamaha Kaha, Kaha Shamaha. See, exactly these words literally are lifted by Adi Shankara Bhagavan and as given in his Tattvabodha or not. Shamak Kaha, Damak Kaha. Question is like that only. Either he has gone through the Bhagavatam, so you can copy, it is all his own. There's no copyright problem with Vyasji. Or he is himself such a great height, such questions, such words can come through his own mouth, so he might have written independently also. क्या फर्क पड़ता है हमको ये जानना है what Shankara said, what Vyasa said is same. So kaha shamaha, what is shamaha? Then kaha damaha. Kaha means what is definition as well as what is the practice of it and what is the experience of it. Kaha shamaha dama. And these are the essential things as a human being we have to achieve in our life, at least to bring our life into some discipline where we don't harm ourselves, we don't harm others. शमदम के बिना हम अपने आप को तंग करते हैं, सबको भी तंग करते हैं. तो शमदम has to practice. And as we are evolving from animal to the human, we have come to human life, though we are still animalic instincts, and to rise above them and to become human also, the shamadam are the trainings given. We have to give it to ourselves. It's a goal. My mana is shamita, mana indra are yamita. Kashamaha kodamaha, Krishna, hey Lord Krishna, ka titiksha. What is titiksha? So, in that Samadhi Sattva Sampatti, all this comes. Viveka Vairagya, Samadhi Sattva Sampata, and Mumukshata. These four things we talk as Sadhana Sattva Sampada. They are all the part of Yama Niyama of Yoga Sadhanas and qualification for Vedanta Bhakti also. Therefore, such questions is asking. So, Shamakaha, Damakaha, then Ka Titiksha. What is Titiksha? What is forbearance? So Shamaha Mano Nigraha, Dama is Indriya Nigraha. Titiksha is going through all the difficulties and arts. How do you say that we have achieved them? Or what to do to achieve to them? When can I say that my Indriyas and Mana are Shamita and Damita and I am not reacting to the happenings around that I am in the Titiksha sadhana, Titiksha siddhi? How do you say? This is the question. And Dhruti kaha. Another very important thing is Dhruti one must have. And general Dhruti is the fortitude to be able to do whatever we have chosen to do. And in the choice of doing also, if the thing is good one, the right one, and that Dhruti is so helpful. Like मैं सत्य में रहता हूँ, Dhruti. You know, मैं झूठ नहीं बोलूंगा, Dhruti. ये itself is great. But the same Dhruti, when it is in spiritual, how it is defined, that will be told. Dhruti means dharana, holding, not allowing ourselves to flow because of any temptations. A wonderful movie is coming. Still you say, I'll not see. That's called a Dhruti. मैं देख चुका ऑलरेडी, मन आ रहा है, मन लग रहा है, लोग कह रहे हैं, दोस्त कह रहे हैं, आ जाओ बैठो एंजॉय करेंगे, इतना बढ़िया था सेकंड टाइम देखने का हमने प्लान किया था, इसलिए हमने रखा प्रोग्राम, यू आर द वीआईपी, यू मस्ट कम, आई विल ऑफर ऑल ईटेबल्स टू यू. All listening, still you say that no, if I see that my mind is more disturbed and again I have to quieten it for my own meditation, it's become very difficult nowadays. मैं क्लास में आता हूँ, दिमाग ठीक करके आता हूँ, फिर आपसे मिलता हूँ, दिमाग खराब होता है, हर बार मेरे से नहीं हो रहा भाई, इस बार मैं सुनूंगा ही नहीं, देखूंगा ही नहीं, मानूंगा नहीं. धृति. Giving up also part of Dhriti and is an aspect of Dhriti, and taking up also is an aspect of Dhriti. That which makes us fall down, giving up, that is the Dhriti. That which helps us to lift up and doing that also is Dhriti. What is Dhriti actually? Bhagavan defines. Yeah, Uddhavji asking. Then Dhriti kaha, then kim danam. Is it not? We talk about various danas, but what exactly dana and which dana we have to give? When given, we also get fulfilled and the person also gets fulfilled. Can you tell me the Lord? So what specifically Lord gives the answers are the Lord's answers. There also this sadhanas to be done. And about these things, whatever we study in other textbooks, that also are the sadhanas. We have to understand both of them and do whatever is possible to us at whatever the time given. Otherwise, they look to very simple. Danam kya hai? Paise de do. Shama kya hai? To man ko nigrah karo. Dhamma kya hai? Indriyon ko nigrah karo. Atitiksha hai, just forbear. The Swamiji is talking in the class. Dhruti, even then you don't run away. लगता है कि सब समझ गए, बट कृष्ण भगवान के मुख से इन शब्दों का डेफिनेशन, इन प्रश्नों का आंसर, इन साधनों का निर्वचन जो है, इट इज वेरी वेरी एसेंशियल. And Bhagavan also doesn't make it so complicated to elaborate only in one or two words or a sentence. He keeps answering them, but then to understand them, we have to explain it deeply in many angles. So, oh Bhagavan, please tell me about all these things. So, then Kim Danam, then Kim Tapaha. What is tapasya? See, one tapasya is, as we know in the world, whatever the difficulties come, we withstand. So, titiksha mein aa gaya hai. Second tapasya is what? We have a goal to reach and to work for it hard. That's called a second tapasya. These are all vyavaharik tapasyas. In Adhyatma tapasya, the ever-running mind and ever pulling us into the sleep, the intellect, the mind, intellect, and Rajaguna and Tamaguna, we have to control. So, to such a sensitive are our sense organs. For little of the perceptions around there and done toward those perceptions. So the ability to pull our senses also from that, that is called as, we can say, as tapasya. Manasasya indriyanam ekagram paramantapah. But what Lord gives the tapasya definition, we are going to see. So to shauryam kim. See, the Yuddha Shaurya is different, the Vyapara Shaurya is different, the family maintenance Shaurya is different, the Vyavahara Shaurya is different, when problems come that time is different, when the targets are given that time Shaurya is different, and when we have taken spiritual path, and here the Shaurya is totally different. Shaurya is Shurata. शूरता में पीछे नहीं हटना उस युद्ध रंग से, कदम आगे बढ़ाना, खड्गा तलवार या हाथ में लेकर, दैट्स कॉल्ड शूर. Shauryam kim. Then Bhagavan is asked by Satyam kim. What is the Satya? Actually Satya. But झूठ नहीं बोलना, जो है देखा वो बोलना, वही सत्य है क्या? Are there any higher definitions for it? And in Vedas, another word very famous, Rutam. See, Rutam vachmi, Satyam vachmi. Rutam cha swadhyaya prapadane cha, tava swadhyaya cha prapadane cha. It comes out everywhere, Rutam and Satyam. Tanmamautu tadvaktaram tutam vadishyami, Satyam vadishyami. Tanmamautu tadvaktaramautu. What is Satyam? What is Rutam? Please explain to us. So, two he says, kahat tyagaha. He just says, कोई गुस्सा आ गया छोड़ के चले गए. It's not त्याग. Temporary I felt like I left it, but next day आके फिर से मैंने collect कर लिया. That's why he defines त्याग in a big way. त्याग is sannyasa, he says. Kastyagaha. Then kim dhanam cha. What is actually dhanam to be earned by all the efforts? So every day we are earning lot of dhana. Dhana in terms of money, dhana in the object, dhana in terms of the friends. All of the, are they real dhana or what is the greater dhana among all of them? Remember, we have very resources, very less. The body, the life, the abilities. Now, the tempting things are thousands in the world, to which you give value or meaning or artha and work, run for it. It decides our life's ability or status. So, if in the given small little of time and the resources, we have to know what exact the highest valuable thing. Call it as dhanam and earn that. And what can be the dhanam? Bhagavan will define us for us here. So, kim dhanam, then kim cha ishtam. What is the ishtam? Ishta yajna, what are they? Which is the ones which you like, which you define? In the same way, ko yajna. Is everything is done yajna? We must know. Just thoda jala diya, aga, फिर आहुतियाँ डालते गए, स्वाहा करे. Is it only yajna? Like in many places. Not, I don't feel bad if I say so. So let me make it say, put it this way. Instead of saying comparatively, let me tell in totality. Everywhere when the yajnas are done, the Yajamani sits when the Pandit is doing mantra charana, he does only the Swahakarke times, Ahutiya Dalna. And in many places, exactly the time of Swaha also, they don't offer it. Their minds are somewhere else. And then none of these Yajaman or people who are seated there know the meaning of what are the mantras or the steps that are involved. Even sometimes the Pandit himself may not know. No, when the process is not known, the mantra arthas are not known, the invocation way is not known, the feelings are not created there of devotion, and the prayer is not extended consciously, then how do you call that performance as yajna? Just by offering ahuti externally? Most of us do only grassly, like even Bhagavan Krishna ke samne Ram Ashtotar padke fool chadate hain. And we think we have done our job. But yeah, behind that process, there are some purposes. There are some things to be done. There's some changes have to be done. The mood has to be set there for a difficult way, for a different way, for a different purpose. The mood while watching TV cannot be the mood when you are doing puja. So वहाँ अलग माहौल. You have to take bath, the fresh and clothes. Everything is different there. In the same way, यज्ञ क्या है? भगवान के मुख से हमें सुनना. Then he says, dakshina ka. What is actual dakshina which a shishya can give to the guru? Is it not? And that every shishya must know. And then whatever the dakshina guru needs for his maintenance and you feel to give, the other than these two, what is the definition of dakshina as given by Krishna, that also you have to offer to the guru. And I like the definition of dakshina in the entire chapter here, more than any other sadhana. He's going to say what is dakshina there. Okay. Dakshina jnana sandeshaha. Helping the guru in spreading the sandesh of the jnana is a real dakshina as you can give to the guru. I don't know, some of anybody can come and help me in doing this work more bigger way, spreading it to more people. Such wonderful shastras we are studying. Yeah. Now we will see the answers of the Lord. Even before that, some more are there. Pum saha kim sit balam. So what is the real strength for the Purusha? Is enough the physical strength? Is enough the monetary strength? Is enough the strength of the speech? Is enough that some followers are there? Kim balam. The Dhana Balam, the Jana Balam, the political Balam, the Jnana Balam, so many are there. But what is the real strength for the Purusha? Let's listen from the mouth of Lord Krishna. Then Bhago Kim, what is the Bhagaha? What is the real wealth? Labhascha, what is that when gain you can call you are really in profit? Yeah, it is very sublime. And what Krishna gives also, keeping Udan all of us in mind, and we can ponder on them more deeply also. Like, I am in a stock market, I got labha. Is it real labha? सब गफलती होता है वहाँ. कुछ लोग बैठकर 50 लोग पूरे इंडिया के सारा चलाते हैं. They have more shares and everything is in their command only. It's all gambling. So in that if you get labha, the profession itself is wrong. How can you say it's labha? Can you call it chore able to do the theft without being caught by the police? Therefore, he got a lot of money. Is it labha? By rigging and horse trading, or you get the votes and get the thing. Labha to ho gaya, but do you define it as labha? But by bribing, you get the permissions. You should know what exactly real labdhi. They're very sublime words. And as I said in the beginning, all the questions and answers indicate to us the way we have to mold our performance, mold our attitudes, mold our beliefs or understandings, then only we grow from misery to the sukha. Like, I don't know why stomach ache. Why you are eating wrong food and excess food, untimely food? No. So at the physical level, because physical problem, there are the causes which we do it unknowingly. So too for the samsaras, all dukkha, the very many causes are there. Through these sadhanas, they are eliminated. So here, bhagaha, lavaha, cha keshava. Then the most important questions, ka vidya. Is anything vidya then? How to cheat others is vidya, great art, how to be smart. The very, very people are so smart in making use of people there for the profit. उसके बाद फेंक देते हैं इसे कड़ी पत्ते की तरह. Is that the vidya? Are all the scientific vidyas, which again either with their result give something detrimental, or they are never ending. The more you search out, still you remain ignorant only. Is that the real vidya? You must know what is vidya. So too, Hri Kaha, Hri Ka. What is Hri? Why that Hri should be there? The bashfulness, the shyness. And today we'll see it in Valmiki Ramayana when Indrajit was killed by Lakshmana. With all the wounds and pain, taking the support of Vibhishana, he goes to Ramji and Kanak was Ramji, Bhaiya, aapka kaam ho chuka hai. Vibhishana is, Indrajit is killed by me. He tells that success news to the Lord without any ego but with all the shyness. Because all the powers are there to him are given by Rama and many other Vanaras also helped. So he cannot claim it. That's one reason. Other reason is what? They are such a humble fellow, so they never claim what they do, even when it leads even to great successes. That's called a Hri. And what's Lord's definition for that? We will see. So to Paraka Shrihi, Kavidya Hri Paraka. What is Para? Para Laksha, Parama Utkrishta, Para Shri Kaha. The supreme wealth, what it is. Then Kim Sukham. Either pleasures are Sukha. Is it being sadist and seeing others suffer and then happy, becoming happy is a Sukha? Just imagine what Sukha must be there for the entire Russians, including the army military, as well as the president, when such a very difficultly built entire infrastructure and structures of Ukraine are bombed and blasted and brought to the ground level. Can you call that is called Sukham? किसी को इसे हताहत करके दुखी करके सुख मानना, you have to rethink, Baba. Kim Sukham? What's that? Define. So to Kaha Sukham and then Dukkha Mevacha. Please tell what exactly Dukkha. So Dukkha Anubhuti we know, but Dukkha Karana and Dukkha removal. Sukha Anubhuti we have and we want it continuously, but how it comes to us. What is Dukkha? What is Sukha? So in that is a feeling. ये कहाँ से आ रहे हैं, कैसे होते हैं, क्यों आते हैं, एक इसका ठिकाना क्या है, इस तरह का प्रश्न. Then these few questions are the total thesis of preparation for our higher spiritual sadhanas, which I mentioned earlier, of bhakti and jnanam. Hrihi kaha, kim sukham kaha, then dukkham evacha. Then the interesting questions, which he answered some of them in Gita also to Arjuna, that is kaha panditaha, kaha pandita san sadasad viveki. See that Prashnottara Malika or Prashnottara Mandaratmala. Both texts we studied, one in English, another in Telugu. In that all the questions were there. So Adi Shankar Bhagwan has learned it from this type of topic. Not only in the 11th skandha, Uddhavji asking. We have seen already in the 3rd skandha, Vidurji is asking Maitreji 80 questions there. And much before that, our Parikshitji asked Sukadevji. And after that, the Sutta Mahamuni is asked by Shaunakadi Rishis. And these are the prashnas are always there. Much before the Bhagavad Purana written in Valmiki Ramayana itself, the Valmiki asked Narji about Bhagavan Rama and his great glories. Or he mentions all the qualities and sense says, is there any person with these divine qualities in the present context world? है क्या कोई? है. इक्ष्वाकु वंश प्रभा रामो नाम जनैश्रुतः. श्रुतिमान बुद्धिमान श्रीमान Tutiman Buddhiman Vagme Sriman Shatru Nibaranaha. That's how it goes on. And unless they are very important sadhanas to be practiced and we have to lift ourselves to that stage and that level and that standard, we will not be happy. Otherwise, why will they become a part of the Bhagavad Purana? ऐसे सच्चे important नहीं है तो जानना है सुखम क्या है दुखम क्या है. फिर देना कहा पंडितः. Who is पंडित जी? चंदन बिंदी लगा दिया माला लाली. Anybody with that चोटी पीछे and all the चंदन कुमकुम रुद्राक्ष कुछ अंगूठे लगाओ and then धोती पहन ली उत्तरी में हो गया पंडिता. You have to consider him as pandita because he has the courage to wear them. But this question is to them, you are wearing them, but do you call yourselves Pandit by definition, by practice? Ka Panditaha. Then if I want to become Pandita, then what is the Lakshana behind Pandita, which you have to gain to become so? Then Kaha Murkaha, Kasha Murkaha. Who is the Murkha? They are all defined definitions. लौकिक रूप में भी इसका एक डेफिनेशंस होते हैं. पंडित वो है जो बहुत जानकर सीखकर अपने व्यापार में सक्सेस तरक्की पाएगा. हो सके तो जरूरत पड़े तो दूसरों को भी धोखा देगा. And what is मूर्खा? He is getting cheated by others and losing everything. This is a laukika definition. But what is spiritually? What is the definition of all these things? From the mouth of the Lord. Then comes kaha pantha. Dekho, kaha pantha. What is the right path to which we have to walk in? Then kaha utpatah cha. What is the wrong path? Pantha is the right path. Utpatha means that path which is udang padang बोलते हैं ना वो ठीक स्ट्रेट नहीं है. उत्पथ है वो जो हमें जाकर उत्कृष्ट दुख में नरक में ले जाता है. So what is that pantha? उत्पथ क्या है and good pantha क्या है? Then kaha swargaha. What is their swarga? Do we have swarga here also? Can we create it here? Kaswargaha. And ko narakaha? Narakaha kaha sthita. What's naraka? Where from the naraka comes and why do we are subject to the narakadi dukkha? Kas narakaha. Then ko bandhuhu. Most important question. Who is our real bandhu? Whom should we consider? And when we know the definition of bandhu, we become bandhu to good people of the world. Is it not noble people of the world? Like how many of us are bandhus to those who are working so greatly, tirelessly for Sanatana Dharma? Do we give them money? Do we give them some appreciation, some encouragement, some sort of kind helper? If not, we are not bandhu to them. So who is our bandhu? We must know, and to whom we are bandhus. Are we becoming that? कितने मंदिरों में हम बंधु हैं? We extend our goodwill and give some dana and go and do some seva and occasionally you sponsor some spiritual program in the temple. Are we the bandhu to the others? Is a bigger question. Then who is bandhu to me? Bandhu means dukha nivaraka. Bandhu kaun hai? Kim gruham? What is the house? Hutment. Secured and place of stay. Kim gruham? Clear? Last set of questions are ka adhya. Adhya means dharman. The one who is full of riches is called adhya. And Kaliyug ki Maya Prabhava dekho, you invest in the stock market or somewhere in construction, and if that both of them for some international reason, they just, go out of control, this multi-millionaire becomes a pauper on the road. In the other way around is what? A person not able to even grow proper crop in his land and even not getting his food. Suddenly कोई airport या राजधानी बन रहा है वहाँ, then this land goes for crores of rupees sale and suddenly become the adhya. Some are adhya, but still they can't have the joy of having right food only. Every disease is there, therefore they only eat tablets more than the food. Do you call him as a rich person then? So these are all to be pondered over, and finalmost answers we have to get. And who else can give an answer to these things more than Lord Krishna? So those things we have to know. This is adhyata. This is a person called a rich. These are the gunas in him. Lord Krishna told. Never let me become rich. And all these are the seekings of every heart. Everybody wants a pandita. Everybody wants a sukhi. Nobody wants dukkha. Nobody wants to be murkha. So we must know. They are very relevant. Then kaha adhya, then ko daridraha. In various places it is decided who is the daridra, who is rich person. The one who is santushtaha is the real richest person. The one who has not contentment, santosha, is called daridra. वो जगह हमने सुना. Let us see here also what Lord says. Then krupanaha kaha. कौन है krupana? So according to our Mandukya Upanishad, in the morning class we have seen krupanata. In our Alat Shanti Prakaranama, in the first 2-3 shlokas only it comes. So, ato vakshame akarpanyam ajati samatam gatam yatana jayate kinchit jayamanam samantataha. It comes in the third Advaita Prakaranam, in the beginning, fourth also. Is our definition according to Upanishad only. And then yovai bhumata sukham nalpe sukham asti. Then ya alpe sukham praptum prayatnam karoti savai krupanaha. Siya atmanam paritteja anatmanam dehadim atma manyate savai krupanaha. So these are the definitions for kripanata. given वेद वेदांत शास्त्र. यही बात भगवान भी बताएंगे, बट क्या ऐड करके, सब्ट्रैक्ट करके, एडिट करके बताएंगे, we will see. So कहा आड्यः and also we have seen कहा दरिद्रः कृपणः कहा च ईश्वरः. And who is the Ishvara? Under whose command now every moment of his life has come, and he is doing it so beautifully well. Again, same example of Russia. Ishvara, he is so systematically planned for the war. Everything taken into account in advance. Months, years he must have spent. Way back from maybe 90s or 2000s, जब भी हो, total size of Ukraine, and which are the military places, which are the atomic places, which are the education institutions, which are the administrative blocks, all that he knows. Then how big is his own army, what more to be added in terms of manpower as well as ammunition. Then what purpose we have to occupy that. If international community questions me, what answers I'll give. Everything he has prepared. Not even one thing is left out. Then he also knows when he attacks, if it is done in 2 days, if the president of Ukraine is weaker, then immediately. If it goes beyond 2 days, 5 days, 10 days, 1 month, if it had to be for a long time, how I have to respond? He is not stunned that way. 2 days ka 10 din ho gaya aaj. You won't see any expressions of weakness or tiredness or frustration in his face. That means what? He was well equipped and prepared for that. If at all the NATO vagara help them either monetarily or directly or by ammunition, how I should respond, how I have to threaten with the Anu Aidha. So even final, if required, I'll use the atomic weapons. If other countries aim at me, what I have to respond. So it's an Ishvara. Whether the project is taken up, it is right or not, the history will decide later on. You and I cannot right now conclude. आगे पता चलेगा. In the present, at our own level, we use powers more than dimag. Just because somebody is president doesn't mean that he has got dimag. In fact, a president is supposed to have the dimag. What is the dimag of president? He should, in coordination with other countries, should see the progress and growth of entire human race in its standard of living as well as standard of life. Is it not? And only a philosopher, truly spiritual, can think, in my tenure as president, I protected my nation and I protected the human species on the earth. I did best for that. And yet, some problems happened because of terrorists or all. That is in the totality's hand. It's not in my hands. That is the highest maturity. On the other hand, not taking the Lord or divinity into account, not taking the human welfare into account for your own petty desires, at cost of all the human lives, you try to achieve it forcefully, then you are totally demonic. That is how a political leader should be in general anyway. हम वो भी बात बताएं और जो पहले we gave example of that fellow Ishvara. India has to be Ishvara now. Every aspect of it. How to evacuate our children, our youngsters, our entire Indians, and how to be so carefully make even one sentence. Because we have more Shatrus for the government of India inside than outside. When outside enemies are there, all the inner Shatrus become Mitra and may help. But when the inner Shatrus are there, you can't take the help from outsiders. So for every sentence or statement you make, every side you take, Ukraine ho, Russia ho, you are answerable then. And that gets into the history, what India did at the time of the Ukraine-Russia Yuddha. Children will study tomorrow. Why are we Tatastha? Why didn't we make any statement till now? If made, what consequences will come and what to be made? And many a times wisdom is when such type of confusion is there. Physically, you help whatever you can do. Don't make vocal statements because they get recorded. Every sentence in the parliament is recorded. If something is unholy or unruly, they say Nikal do record se karke. What I am saying is Ishvara kaha. Who has full command on his own life? Should we not have? At every moment, commanding our life. And mind you, I tell you, as a human being only, with all the tapo shaktis, yoga shaktis, jnana shaktis, we can command ourselves, and to a great extent, we can command the world around us at our period. That's what I'm saying. The Hitlers, all of them have commanded, though it's negative way. No, what's commanding in Pakistan on the name of army? Only terrorists command. Ishwaratva. What I'm saying is, we have to have command over our own internal and external life. That's called Ishwaratva. क्या है वो बताओ. Then अच्छा, up above we have not seen. Kasvargaha narakah kasvit ko bandhuhu. Who is our bandhu? Who is our relative? His blood relation is okay. They have blood relations taking the blood only. We have to define, please. Some are relatives because of blood relations. Some are related to us in our life professionally. Some are there because once in a while they help us in some monetary things. Some people are the one who give us emotional support. But there are some people who are throughout life are well wishers and keep on guiding us for higher evolution. And they are in life because of our punya done in so many lives. They are actually the true bandhus. But do we value them? Do we acknowledge them? Are we taking their help? हमारे गुरु को छोड़ के चले आते हैं. पागल लोग हैं. Do you think you will get that type of love which you get from the guru, from the whole universe? Even God cannot give you. Stupid, arrogant fellows. The kindness, the concern, the love which guru gives, all avatars put together cannot. Because for the guru you are the only disciple, but for the Lord millions of jivas are there. He will take care of. He has many alternatives. For the guru, shishya and shishya, he loves them. He pours everything. That Tulsi Ramayana Parayanam, where to that Shishya, for the sake of him, the Guru did prayer to the Ishvara. That should be a big understanding to us how much Guru loves disciples. See that Dronacharya, how much is love for Arjuna, etc. He knows that he will be blamed throughout in the future history. Even then, he asked the Eklavya to give that thumb. That's a big sacrifice he has done. He has done big mistake it is. But it is accepted because I love my disciple. He'll have to come up and he should become instrument for the Lord to establish his dharma for which he has come. I am talking about bandhu. In bandhu ame, there is no greater bandhu than the guru. What Lord defines, let's see. Then also, uta kim gruham, that is the house for us to stay. Secured house, safe house. It's a very peculiar answer it's given, If it clicks to you, a beautiful change happens in our attitude regarding our own house where we stay, regarding our own deha in which we stay. देखेंगे उसको. फिर कहा आड्यः, कहा दरिद्रः, कोवा कृपणः, कहा ईश्वरः. Who is कृपण, who is ईश्वरः? एतान् प्रश्नान् मम ब्रूहि. Please answer to me all these questions. And viparitanscha satpate, sattanam pataye namaha. Today was the last thought in that our anuvaka in the Telugu. Sattanamate namaha. So satpate, sat vastu ke pati, sat purushon ke liye pati. Pati means rakshaka. So he protects the truth, he protects the truthful people also. Such you, I am asking, answer this question. Viparitan means opposite of them also. Wherever I have not asked you, tell. So what is sukha, what is dukkha? Both of them I asked you. But in some places, one side I asked, I did not ask the other one. Like Kim Dhanam I asked you, but Kim Lobam I didn't ask you. Kim Tabha I asked you, but Kim Laziness I didn't ask you. तो उसका opposite भी बता दो. ये बहुत बार किम आया ना. किम इज ए नॉर्थ कोरियन कहीं देश के प्रेसिडेंट है आजकल. उनका भी कुछ इधर चल रहा है. किम जॉर्ज. So these are the good questions, very relevant questions. This is the actual study we have to study, which personality building is done, both to protect from the world, to serve the world, to get the benefit from the world, to be peaceful inside the life, to be able to help the world, also to grow spiritually. These are all the subtle things, like with all the Russian army. Training देना उनको हाथ में rifle पकड़ना is one thing, but teaching them obedient to president of that nation and teaching them to get the commands and follow them at every cost. They are all internal trainings, no? अंदर की बातें बहुत सीखनी होता है, स्थूल ही नहीं है. So these are all questions that will equip us to answer all inner and outer problems or questions or crises, wherever they are there. I was wondering in the morning about, okay, Ukraine is destroyed and people are dying. What about Russia's सैन्य? Around 5,000. दे तो कहते 9,500 मार दिया. ले जाओ तो अपने इस देहों को. Let the Red Cross come and take out the bodies. और यहीं दफना देंगे. Very painful, no? 9,000 soldiers of Russia killed. इफ इज एग्जैजरेशन, 1000 मरे तो 1000 ही है ना। अब एक भी मरा तो एक तो मरा ना, लाइक आवर वन इंडियन बॉय डाइड, 10 डिड नॉट डाई बट वन तो डाइड। 1 and 10 are not different, they are same, because dukkha to the parents is same even if one dies, because not even one should die. But I was thinking about it, क्या है उनके भी फैमिली का वगैरह, how much was it essential. Then I was thinking about all the wars that have happened for the sake of land or money or power right from the beginning. How much is the wisdom in that? See that Ashoka's Kalinga war, 5 lakhs of people were killed or 1 lakh of people? 1 lakh or something. Then he got so fed up. I heard, I don't know पूरा story नहीं पढ़ा अशोक चक्रवर्ती का मैंने. So we have all wear in Ashoka Chakra only in our emblem and 100 rupee, 1 rupee sub में. Then he took to that Shanti Buddhism, converted 5 lakhs people into Buddhism. All that they say. We must know the subtler things. I was analyzing the war and its consequences. And you see at one place in the same globe at the same time, some place the war is going on, another place the sports are going on, another place the other entertainments are going on, somewhere the businesses are flourishing, some places people are indulging in bhoga, and in our class we are studying Vedanta. You see how the difference at the very same time. वहाँ हर बंदा वो मरने के डर से हर एक सांस को ले रहा है कि अगला ले सकते हैं कि नहीं. See, imagine the thousands stranded in the bunkers in the metro railway stations. We are safely, securely moving. एक ही समय ग्लोब में क्या माया है देखो. ये सब सोचकर पता चलना चाहिए हमको हमारी मूर्खता कितना है, हम भगवान से कितना पॉजिटिव हेल्प मांगना है. इन शॉर्ट, हाउ वी हैव टू लिव लाइफ. Lessons should be learned. And some of you elders above 85 might have seen all those wars. है ना? The First World War, the Indian freedom struggle, Second World War. And all this, every time there's something or other going on in this globe. इराक इराक का इतना चलता था उन दिनों में. So many things. China war, Bangladesh war. There are revolutions everywhere happening. Humanity, देखो. And what spirituality does, this only spirituality can do is giving them the sublime goal of spirituality, and in which there's no competition, there's no requirement of the gross things. In fact, you have to give them up. Therefore, there is no need of any quarrel with anyone. And anyway, gross is given up for the sake of subtler. Therefore, for the sake of gross also, there are no fightings. That is why the true nationalism or the universalism can be only spiritualism. Otherwise, you will focus on the gross things, whether it's land or money or name and fame or the feeling of mine is a big country. Then you try to establish it. You have to क्या होगा? अब यूएसएसआर टूट गया, फिर जोड़ना चाह रहा है, नहीं होगा वो. यूएसए वो कब तक जुड़ा रहेगा, कब वो टूटेगा क्या पता. In this long time of history, if you take into big planets and stars only are merging in each other, are breaking and becoming separate. अब उसमें इसका क्या वैल्यू है बताओ. To visualize the universe or cosmos from that angle, for them in a one period of 100 or 200 or 1000 years of history, जो हो रहा है वो तो तिनके भर का है. लेकिन उनमें जो ह्यूमन बींग्स कर रहे हैं everything other than spirituality, they show their parama मूर्खता. But that's how the evolution, through all those trials and errors and mistakes only, the humanity evolves. So it's also the way that war of Ukraine and Russia is a big lesson for the entire world if they want to learn. That's how the nature teaches. It's a बहुत बड़े subject. So what we are saying here, कि in our life to be matured, we have to learn so many aspects. Aspects of doing, aspects of attitudes, aspects of intentions, aspects of understandings, acceptances. Lord Krishna is asked by Uddhavji with in this regard about so many questions. Now Bhagavan will start giving answers. Now the Yama Niyama are told in the first 2 slokas. I told already, Yamanam is disciplining our life. Niyamanam is engaging that disciplined life in constructive, creative thing. So 12 yama, 12 niyama, Bhagavan starts explaining them. And each of them we have to master in life. Means the definition that are given should be experienced by us. And saying that I am that. Like when you get a doctor certificate on the convocation day, then you put stethoscope and coat, and you say I am doctor. Is it not so too? I am full now with the yama gunas. I am yama. I am niyama. Niyamayukta Purusha, Yamayukta Purusha, that certificate either will Guru will give us or we give to ourselves after duly practice. But what it is, let us know. And in fact, this man making education is real education. Making man divine is real education. Making man evolve from within is real education. This is to be taught first. This is evolution. And all other evolutions are kuch nahi. Their only revolution will be there out of greed and selfishness. Mind being a devil, if you leave it free, it will look at others out of competition or jealousy. They want to grow more or earn more at every hook or crook cost, and then they degrade to the level from the human to the animal to the Rakshasas. But this man making, man को divinize करने वाला, है ना? The stone man is there, the plant man is there, the animal man is there. Then from animal man, we have to mold it into man man. Then only you should become God man. So the man man and God man making techniques are the Shastras. Without them, other Shastras will make us only animal man. And if we don't work, we become plant man and stone man. Anyway, let us see Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Bhagavan starts giving answer to one by one. So, in that third mantra, I mean 35 shloka, it says, Ete yamaha sa niyamaha. These are the yamaha and niyamaha. Ubhayoho dvadasha smutaha. Each of them 12, 12 I gave you. In Patanjali Yoga Sutra, he mentioned only 5, 5. 5 yama, 5 niyama. यहाँ तो और 7 जोड़कर कृष्ण भगवान ने 12 कर दिए. So what is almost same things will come one or two here and there. So there, what is Yamaha in Patanjali Yoga Sutra? Ahimsa, Satyam, Asteya, Brahmacharya, Aparigraha. Ete Yama Prokta. What is Yamaha? Shaucha, Santosha, Swadhyaya, Tapa, Ishwar Pranidhana. Same things plus 7 more are added here. Each one of them will just define them, and you all have heard about it so many times. Some of you are practicing, some of you have mastered some of them. There's no doubt about it. And few of us, like me, will have to learn what are they first of all and start doing. So, what are the 12 yama, 12 niyama? Let us see. Ahimsa, ginti karo. Satyam, 2. Asteyam, 3. Asangaha, 4. Rihi, 5. Samshayah, asanchayah, 6 हो गया. आस्तिक्यम 7. ब्रह्मचर्यम 8. मौनम 9. स्थैर्यम 10. क्षमा 11. अभयम 12. पूरा बैठ गया ना 12? Then what are the niyamaha? Shaucham 1. Japaha 2. Tapaha 3. Homaha 4. Shraddha 5. Atityam 6. Madarchanam 7. Tirthatnam 8. Pararteha 9. Tushtihi 10. Acharya Sevanam 11. Then Tirthatnam Parartha Iha. So Shaucham Japaha Tapo Homaha 4. Shraddha Atityam 6. Madarchanam 7. Tirthatnam 8. Parartaha 9. Iha 10. Tushtihi 11. Acharya Sevanam is 12. Bara Yama, Bara Niyama. So, in fact, if you are in front of me, I would have asked you only the question, you would have answered. Because itne baar sun ke, aap masters ho gaye honge. So, first one in the Yamas, the first one, Ahimsa. So, both at the physical level, and sometimes it is needed to do physical Himsa because that fellow thick-skinned, he'll have to be given the Himsa at the body level, then only he will sudro. बट तो सुधारने के लिए उसको हमने किया तो अहिंसा ही कहलाया जाता है. बेसिकली अहिंसा इज द मानसिक सद्गुण. क्या वी आर ऑलवेज इन अहिंसा रात में 11 से सुबह 5 तक, बट दैट इज नॉट ए साधना. एंड वी आर ऑल इन अहिंसा व्हेन ऑल द थिंग्स गो अकॉर्डिंग टू आवर चॉइस. इज इट नॉट? When the wife or husband or children or servant all are listening, they are obedient, you will not do any himsa to them. तो सब ठीक ठाक है तो कोई भी हिंसा नहीं करता. But only when inside the excesses happen, desires, etc., and when they are thwarted or unfulfilled or obstructed, and also when the situations get out of control, that time we get tempted to become himsavadi. That's what again what's happening in Ukraine is himsa. It is both physical at the mind level. That is a real test to us. Yeah. In fact, means what? Let the other person with all the enmity trouble us. Let us protect ourselves. Let us defend. At the same time, in the mind, we must only pray that let that person evolve and grow. So, if I don't do that, along with protecting myself, shielding myself, on the name of revenge or retaliation, if I commit some harm to them, then I have broken ahimsa mantra. एंड हमें याद रखो हिंसा के लिए हिंसा ही प्रतिचर्या नहीं हो सकता. देन वो हिंसा बढ़ता ही रहेगा. And that's why we see in this world, if both parties are against each other, हिंसा बढ़ता रहेगा. There's no end to the crime there. If one is doing himsa, when other people are patiently tackling in other than himsa techniques or means, it can be subjugated. And anywhere the himsa parena happens, only for 1 or 2 or 3, 4 कट्टर राक्षसी टाइप लोग, उनको दिखाने के लगा था बाकी सब शांत हो जाए. Is it not? Terrorizing people, not many. Like see, 2 few hours back in Pakistan, the Sunni Muslims in that Shiite mosque, they put the bomb blast. 65 or 45 people died. Some Muslim here. 80 or 90 are very severely घायल. Few hours back news. पाकिस्तान में सब वही है वो लोग फिर. But then some reason हिंसा 4-5 ही होते, बाकी को भड़काते. Now these are the global scenes we see. The cruel, crooked minds not standing to the growth of other nations. You know, the America is always, it is a superpower. उसको हमेशा ऐसे रहने का इच्छा होता है. That fellow will never come down to say that चलो तुम लोग कुछ समय के लिए मजाक करो. Then the other countries, how long they'll be at the low level, they also grow. China आदि जबरदस्ती grow करते हैं. India by nature, by virtue, it will grow because Indians are so great. Our becoming superpower is not ambitious. Our becoming superpower is byproduct of our wanting to be a contributor. India's policy is like that. We are commanding being a superpower. We don't demand or we don't fight for it. And in giving us all these respects, the world only is benefited. See, yesterday, the Russia in that airspace, aircraft of the space shuttle, they have removed all झंडा. सिर्फ इंडिया का ही उन्होंने खड़ा किया. Everything becoming jealous. The Germany, America. No, America is sending sanctions to India that you are silently supporting Russia because you are not acting against them. ये देखो क्या permutation combinations बनते हैं. Just like in every party in India, local level elections, on the day of elections, you know, results आते ही किसको कौन, अगर हंग पार्लियामेंट है मानो अब पंजाब में क्या होगा नहीं पता. Hung assembly, then who will buy whom? Everything is confusion. Permutation combinations change. I'm just explaining you the world scenario of the past and present and what happens also every nook and corner of the every state or nation, and all that is byproduct of the human being's mind's ignorance. Ignorance is for my own profit or benefit, I should do himsa to others. So ahimsavan vyakti, he will never harm anybody for his own any selfish purpose. And he'll only pray, Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. And what did we do yesterday chanting, you know? Shanno mitra, tachayora gatum yagnaya, gatum yagnapataye, daivi swastrastra, swastir manushevya, urdam jagatu veshajam, shanno studyupade, shamchatushpade. I have not prayed only for Indian students to be safely evacuated. मैं तो कहा जो भी यूक्रेनियन, every person is there, of children, elder, old, native citizens कहो, neighbors कहो, who came on profession or student, everyone should be safe. So बाकी आप समझ लेना, अहिंसा प्रथमो धर्मः. In the mind, we should not think of harm to anyone. Little sublime, subtler thing which we don't understand unless we study pure bhakti and Vedanta is what? Even don't have anger also towards anyone, even if they do mistake. You know, that wastes your own tapo shakti, and that also instigates anger in that person because he is already worldly, not spiritual. I being spiritual, myself become angry. With my anger, I instigate anger also in others. So dignity of my being mature or being spiritual is, in spite of all the disturbance creating situation, I must be anger free. The being angry also is a himsa. सिखाओ, प्यार से सिखाओ. इवन पनिशमेंट देना है तो प्यार से लीगली देना उसको सिखाने के लिए, बट नॉट लाइक हाउ द जज गिव्स punishment to the criminal when he is convicted, not out of hatred, not out of anger, but it can be capital punishment also, but according to the law books. I am not decided here. Ahimsa, and write down a list. Whose himsa I am doing every day in my life, by mouth, by my mind, by my own planning and acting. Is it not? Very careful. And if you become more sensitive, parking your vehicle unnecessarily in front of others' house also is a himsa, because they feel it bad. If you do it, you ask them, "Yeah, मैं रख सकता हूँ क्या?" If he says permission, yes. Otherwise, it's a himsa, because he's in doubt, question, why did you park in front of me? Then he'll ask you, then चिल्लाते हो 10 मिनट लगा तो क्या होगा तुमको? Then लड़ाई. That ego comes. We have no right. We have only duty. We can request others. तो कुछ भी सारे बिजनेस में गफलत करते हैं वो भी हिंसा है. प्रोफेशन में वॉट एवर मिस्टेक्स वी डू, इट ऑल आर हिंसा ओनली. Even every step we put, every thought we think, every action we do, inhaling, exhaling also can be himsa yukta if we are not aware. And only one sadhana I can say, it can be better definitions also, to avoid the himsa in our life completely is, O Lord, may every moment of my existence be utilized for the service of you who is in the form of this world. That is a positive retaliation, is the only one. The positive reaction is the only one to avoid the negative thing called himsa. मेरे द्वारा सबका हमेशा भला हो, हर क्षण. That is called ahimsa. Okay, good. Remaining you think about. Second is satyam. Second of the yama sadhana, satyam. Satya is intellectual conviction, and follow the conviction. And intellect is always noble, unless it is pulled by the lower mind, unless it is pulled by the senses, unless it is misguided by the people outside, maybe out of some relativity, maybe some of our obligation, or some type of demand, or some type of supremacy, अथॉरिटी. ये चीजें हैं जिसके कारण जबरदस्ती इंटेलेक्ट को करप्ट होना पड़ता है. अदरवाइज intellect always thinks right, gives right decision. So when rightly think, rightly decide and abide by that, we are practicing satyam. This is a yama sadhana. And these are few sadhanas like satya bolna, ya conviction ke ansar jeena, and conviction is authentic, are the ones which will lift the individual. And when a community is filled with such people, the community is so beautiful and glorious. Satyavadi samstha. So Sakti bolenge, conviction mein. Nowadays, these are the two main values which are totally destroyed. That's why peace and joy of the world is going away. What are the two? Ahimsa and Satya. See, घर में वाइफ कितने झूठ बोलती है पति को. For our small little whatever the benefits. The husband also कितना झूठ. You cannot have the intactness of the relation if it is based on the झूठ. And हिंसा, ईगो को हिंसा करना, हर्ट करना, मन को दुख पहुंचाना. Nowadays, those are married 15-10 years back, उस समय से लेकर अब तक वाले, पहले वाले थोड़ा सयाने थे. They used to have that pure love, because both of them are uneducated, poverty level. इसलिए दोनों को हिम्मत ताकत वो नहीं होता. अब both are educated, both are moneyed, both are jobbed. Therefore, they have more strong egos clashing, leading to the himsa as well as asatya. You can observe it. But among them also there are some youth who are under the guidance of some gurus and all. They are protecting themselves. So send your children to some guru. If not to our class, कहीं ना तो भेजो, सीख ले दो उनको. So remove these two from the world, himsa as well as satyam, replaced by himsa and satyam. The world will be beautiful. हो गया. Satyam is intellectual conviction. Satyam is what Shastra says, Satyam is what my Guru says, Satyam is that which really makes me feel happy inside. बिकॉज असत्यम गलत करके कभी भी हम हमेशा खुशी नहीं हो सकते, आज नहीं तो कल उसका महसूस होगा हमको. सो दीज आर द सत्यास. सेकंड वन. थर्ड वन, अस्तेयम. अस्तेयम इज स्टीलिंग. टुमारो विल सी लॉर्ड शिवा इन तेलुगु लेक्चर. थर्ड अनुवाक टॉक्स ओनली दैट. अस्तेनानां पते नमः. नमः व्याधिनीभ्यो विविध्यन्तीभ्यश्चव्यो. नमो नमो गुणाभ्यस्तुगमहतिभ्यश्चो. नमो नमो गृत्सेभ्यो गृत्सपतिभ्यश्च व्रातेभ्यः व्रातपतिभ्यः. विरूपेभ्यः विश्वरूपेभ्यः वद्भ्यः क्षुल्लकेभ्यः रतिभ्यो रथपतिभ्यः सेना. All these are about all the terrorist dacoits only. The Lord is the Lord of all of them. We'll just see tomorrow. But here is third one, asteyam, non-stealing the other things. Now in today's world, this beautiful was this quality of not coveting others' things till the freedom struggle and 10-20 years baad tak. From 75-80 onwards, slowly the money, the Indians started seeing the money, started seeing the bhoga more and more. And slowly the steya bhavana started coming. Steya means chori karna. What is chori? Others' property, owning myself. Everywhere, whether selling sabjiyan kaho, kahin bhi kaho, a cost and your due profit. More than that, stay. Nowadays, the land grabbings, the online cheatings, then bade jo sectors, हमको क्या नहीं पता. I don't enter into that. Therefore, that language, all that I know, but I don't know. But tentatively I see. इन्वेस्ट भी करते हैं पूरे गांव वालों को पैसे इन्वेस्ट कराया, फिर बोर्ड बंद करके लेके गए रातों रात 10 करोड़ लेकर. Stay up. Elder brother hadapping the property of the youngers. But that's how the world is changing. People are not living on the beautiful relative level. They're living only at the property level. Therefore, the law also every 6 months gets edited. नया यो updating हो रहा है. You can see that what were there in law books regarding the rights for the children when the parents go. अब क्या है, बहुत बदल गया है. Recent developments, because everybody is stay. So Lord will have to protect from somewhere, so He will bring all those disciplines through the law. किसी का 1 रुपए भी नहीं लेना हमको. अस्तेय नहीं मतलब नहीं, that's it. If I want, I work hard and I earn. चोरी नहीं करना बाबा, धोखाधड़ी करके. Okay, that is niyama. Yamaha. Because the mind gets tempted. फिर कहते हैं क्या फर्क पड़ता है, चलो ले लेंगे, खुशियां मिलेंगे. Astey means astey. There are so many people, even now, not even once they have taken bribe. There are some people. Astey. Noble people. कुछ ही होंगे लेकिन जरूर. Not necessarily only in India, Hinduism. Throughout the world they are there. And they are the ones who are supporting the world still. Next one is asangaha. Asangaha is another important quality. Free the mind always from the people, things and projects. How to do that? जो जरूरत है वो करना है, बस बाकी टाइम भगवान का नाम. It's called asanga. That freedom we have to gain, and let's not become emotional, feeling that we will lose with something with that. No. Don't you see the Guru? With everybody is there, still he reserves his time for the Lord. So he is in that asanga sthiti. You and I also can be. That sangha is only an intellectual bankruptcy. Intellectual bankruptcy means without attachment we'll be more happy, not knowing that is the cause, because of which at the mind level gets sangha. Are you true? Yeah. Are you working hard? Yeah. Are you honest and selflessly loving the other person? Yeah. Enough. Then you need not further attach to that person. That's it. Sometimes you seek the helper, they give, thank to them, but don't get attached. They don't give the helper, say, okay, never mind, but don't get detached or be hatred also. Sometimes you want to help them, but they don't take. But फिर भी don't be worried. They take, but they don't reciprocate or acknowledge. फिर भी don't worry. कभी आप 10 रुपए देते हो, दूसरा अंदर 100 देता है. Thank you कहो, मना कर दो, मेरे को इतना काम है. In all the cases, The mind should not have undue extra importance given to anything and being. That helps you. The mind is free. Sangha. Like you do with Guru. No Sangha, he never enters your mind other than the class. That is why the Guru never troubles you in your own activities and samsara. Because he is not there. You have no Sangha at all for him. Till the next class starts, जिंदा है कि मरे अपने गुरु पता भी नहीं हमको. I am giving that example to say that it is correct. Do the same thing everywhere. Asangaha we know. So let us do it everywhere. Very important quality. Next one, Hrihi. Hrihi means it's a very sweet quality. As I said, Lakshmana will express this now in front of his brother Rama. Hrihi. That bashfulness. No arrogance. देखा मैंने मारा. वो तो राम जी का नाम लिए धर्मात्मा सत्यसंध रामोदास रथ यदि पौरुषेचा प्रतिद्वंद्व शरयम जयरायणी तब जाकर he could kill Indrajit. Where is his शक्ति? Before that, विभीषण also उनको घायल किया था. हनुमान जी ने घायल की थी. So Rama, while acknowledging, that's what he says. Lakshmana, you did a very job, but I appreciate the efforts of Vibhishana, Angad and Hanuman also in killing Indrajit. So that Hri, in that Hri, it's a big subject. We can talk about it in 10-12 angles. एक ही बात कहते हैं, any achievement is done. Lord has done it through me and it is His grace that He has chosen me. That feeling all is Hari. How can I claim I am alive? Life is given by Him. I have mind, intellect. He has given that. I have senses in body. He has given us. No, unless the world or the people or the atmosphere cooperates, I could have not achieved it. No. So whose grace is that? His. And in every success, first namaskar we have to do is to the dushta people of the world. Why? Because if they had obstructed, we would have not done the work. That's why Tulsidas ji in Ramayana very intelligently, Khala Vandana pehle karte, because baad mein Sant Vandana. So that they are kept at their distance, they don't disturb us. Every intelligent person does like that only. First, the seeming obstructions. Like किसी को कोई घर में प्रोग्राम है, जिसको नहीं बुलाने से परेशान होगा वो या बहुत शोर मचाएगा, पहले उसको बुला देते. So to डाइनिंग टेबल में जिसको पहले परोसेंगे नहीं तो डांटेगा, दुष्ट है वो, तो पहले उसको परोस दो. An intelligent person does that. So in general, he don't claim. It is given to us by the Lord, by the cooperation of people, like this class. We cannot have arrogance. It is 100 people working behind in the working of this internet, in the working of all this YouTube management. So many are working. वो सब है इसलिए लगातार चल रहा है. And each one of your contribution. And behind the scene, your own family members, they encourage you. Isn't? If they put some rules on you, that आप क्लास में स्वामी जी का जाओगे, आप देखो फिर धमकी दे दे मानो आप कहाँ रहोगे, आप लोग बोलोगे भी नहीं मेरे को. There are some people they don't inform but they left me. What problem they have in their family, they don't tell. I don't know. But I thankful to them that at least till that time they have allowed. Everything is not in our command or control or even our desirability. जब तक मेरा किस्मत है तब तक आप मेरे साथ रहोगे ना. खत्म हो जाएगा तो goes away. नया किस्मत है तो आपसे बढ़िया लोग मिलेंगे. कल और आएंगे मुझसे बेहतर कहने वाले, तुमसे बेहतर सुनने वाले. Hri is a big word. At every moment of our life, Hri is a very beautiful, decent and sensitive quality. And this is, the more you explain, the more feeling you can do. But you can have. But the joy will come only when you really practice it. Always. Anywhere you go, respectfully talk. That person may be selling vegetable and you may be Karodpati. And still, your life is depending on him. You went to him. And without his sabji bechna, you would have not survived only with all your crores of rupees. And therefore, at that time, you have to be respectful only to him. You may not be too much respectful and garland karo usko, but his values is work done. Bhaiya kaho, beta kaho, aisa kaho, then that is all Hri. where I'm not considering myself big because of my suit, boot, coat, and car. I have seen some great Mahatmas. They are at the age of 80. The disciples are at the 20 only. Still, they have that Hari. In the sense, respectfully only they address their disciples. They don't take it for chance. They became habitual in that. I know Paramatma is there in him. I'm respecting him. बट वो तो बहुत छोटा है, आपका चेला है, आप कुछ भी बोल सकते हो, वो तो पॉजिटिव ही होगा, होता होगा. बट आई ट्रांसेंडेड इवन दैट लेवल. I did it earlier, but now no more. I have a hurry now. Whether the child is 20 years younger than me, 30 years younger than me, no man, I just now started, whatever it may be, in him also, Lord, I am saying, therefore I behave. Hri. इस तरह से in different places, what is that Hri? Tomorrow little bit we touch. Then he says, comes next one, Asamchayaha. Asanga is different, Asamchaya is different. Asanchaya means non-collecting of the things which consume our time and life. संचय जितना चाहिए उतना. More than that लाओगे तो you are unnecessarily wasting your time on that, and it should have belonged to someone else or useful to someone else. So you have denied that person. That papa also comes to us. There's so many very sensitive things in this regard. I'll talk tomorrow. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamadachate Purnasa Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की जय. भागवत महापुराण की जय. सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. थैंक यू. जय राम.